Happy New Year! My name is Uran10, and I'm a content creator and a streamer, and I hope everyone had a great holiday season, and I hope everyone has a wonderful 2024. I just want to thank everyone that supported me, that visited my stream, that watched my videos, that have seen my shorts content, and just say thank you so much. And 2023 was not an easy year, and a lot of things went wrong. And at the same time, some things went really, really well. Some of the things that went well were the goals I set out for short form content. My shorts channel on YouTube, my TikTok, and my Instagram were all active throughout the latter half of the year, and I decided to set goals for each of them based off of the amount of support I expected, and each of these platforms either met or exceeded their goals. YouTube Shorts in particular has had a lot of momentum in December, with it being by far the strongest month on the channel with over 23,000 views. Note, I didn't upload midway throughout the year for a little bit, and before December, we were sitting at roughly 29,000 views total. So December has completely and utterly blown away every other month. And my Instagram has also seen this massive growth in viewership. It managed to reach the goal I set, which was 15 followers. And this last month alone, YouTube was at 23,000. Instagram is at 17,000 views. It is actually insane to me that so many people are watching my content, and I just want to thank y'all so much for the support. It has been actually crazy. TikTok has been steady. It was actually the first of my short form content to hit its goal, but the goal was just 20 followers. We're currently sitting at 25 the last I checked, and a lot of this growth, a lot of this steady growth, a lot of this more viewership, more eyes, a lot of it can be really I can thank Soul underscore X13X. He has been a massive help. I hope I got his username right. It'd be a shame if I didn't. But yeah, Soul, thank you so much. Like, Soul helped me format it, gave me like links to Streamladder, gave me advice, and he also helped me remember some advice that Crowd Control's Moni gave me, or at least she gave in general, which was to use your clips on your other channels when you're doing it for like YouTube Shorts and TikTok Shorts and Instagram Shorts. If you actually use in-app editing, it makes the algorithm like the content more and pushes out to more people. So that could also be why I've been seeing such a big growth on these platforms. So I want to really give a major shout out to Soul. He's the reason why the clips lately have been looking much cleaner, much better, all of that stuff. So once more, I just want to say thanks a ton, Soul. Like, thanks a hell of a lot. Thanks to you, my short form content is doing amazing. On the other hand, my long form content all failed to reach the goals, with my Twitch failing by the largest amount. My VOD channel on YouTube missed its goal by just 3 subscribers, my main YouTube channel missed its goal by 8 subscribers, and my Twitch channel missed its goal by well over 100 followers. While this is disappointing, and it looks really bad on paper, the truth was, in comparison to 2022, I streamed far less, and comparing the time I streamed this year to last year, and the amount of total followers gained was more than half of 2022, while I streamed far less. However, the main difference in 2023 and 2022 is that in 2023, there was a lot of falling off in terms of followers, so there would be times when I'm gaining a lot and there'd be times when I'm losing a lot. So at the end, it didn't really feel like it grew much, and it didn't. I also streamed a lot less. Like, I streamed almost 1,000 hours in 2022, and I streamed less than 500 hours in 2023. So a lot of that translates into less viewership and such, but even though it's less than half, compensation wise, like money wise and all that stuff, I actually made roughly half of the amount I made in 2022. So it's kind of can be seen in a positive light, but also at the same time, it is a drop off, it is missing the goals, and it's not the best feeling. So that does kind of suck. But I also feel like part of the reason why this happened was because streaming is very momentum based. And I went in the end of December 2022, I went off to vacation, or middle of December, I went to vacation back to my home of St. Kitts. And my momentum was actually kind of rising when I left. And when I came back, I wasn't able to recapture that. And for the whole of 2023, it felt like I wasn't able to gain any real momentum. So I'm expecting, because I took this similar break, even though it wasn't necessarily one that I intended to happen, at least intended to be that long, I feel like at the start of this year, it's also going to end up being similar. But I feel like due to all of the efforts I'm putting in with all of the shorts content and the YouTube content and all of that, and also streaming to both YouTube and Twitch, I feel like 2024, at least for my long form content, will end up being much, much, much better, even with this very limited schedule that I had for myself. On another note, a not so bright note, Viewer of the Month for January 2024 will not have anyone chosen because I barely streamed in December and it's determined by the month before. I will, however, try to see if I can allow some regulars on the stream to select a game for me to play for like 1 hour on every Tuesday after I've played Mario RPG for 2 hours to make up for it. So yeah, I will try doing that going forward. So yeah, let me just throw that out there real quick. With that said, let's look towards what 2024 has to offer. Firstly, let's look at the wedding situation. Originally, we planned to get married in April, but we've pushed it back and decided to focus on finding a new place. We're still actively searching for a new place, but I had an idea of just sticking around with this particular place for a while until we ended up getting enough money to move to a more permanent solution, a more, oh, this is the home that I plan on living the majority of my life in, or the rest of my life in, and all that stuff. And well, I think now Chanel is coming around to that because we haven't been having much luck with the places. So we would like to save up money and such, but the problem is, the main reason why we're trying to get out is because the landlord sucks. So yeah, that is a problem, but for the most part, we need to save up money, because if we do find a place, moving is expensive. Not only that, weddings are expensive, and it's not just one wedding. It's not just my own wedding that I have to look out for. I also have to buy clothes and such for Vish's wedding. I also have to spend what could potentially be a lot of money for my sister's wedding, since not only would I have to buy clothes and get all that other stuff set up for hers, I'd unfortunately, well, unfortunately, because it's been a little bit, but I'd have to take a trip to St. Kitts, go back home because she wants to get married home. So that's a lot of money, since it's not a cheap flight. So a lot of things is expensive. So yeah, but again, we're still somewhat actively looking for a place. So due to that, I can't say that my stream schedule that I post in my Discord will always be followed. So I might be streaming infrequently again this year. Well, yeah, so I'll try my best to stick to the schedule and get everything planned out and not do anything that catches people off guard, but I cannot promise a strict stream schedule this year as well. So let me apologize in advance for that. And since saving money is currently the name of the game, that also means that giving away money has to be done smartly. That means starting, well, this year, there will not be monthly tournaments hosted unless I've hit $100 in payout for the last month combined. Like months with an S combined. Like, streaming doesn't provide a lot of money for me. I can't afford for it to completely go in the red and hit into my actual earnings that I get from my full-time job. So I will only host prize pool tournaments once $100 has been met through content creation in general. So Twitch, crowd control, Patreon, stuff like that. Once $100 is met for over however many months, the month it is hit, we will see how much it goes over by, and that will go towards how we already do our tournament prize pool settings, and it'll go just like that. And that will determine the amount of the prize pool for the tournament, and we will host it the following month and go from there. If YouTube is monetized, obviously it will join the equation, and we will work from there. But again, we have a long way to go with YouTube monetization. So yeah, if you want that, please do subscribe to the channel, watch the videos. There's a lot coming, and I'm currently doing a Smash series, so do check that out. Speaking of YouTube, there is a lot lacking when it comes to integration, similar to Twitch channel points, which I use heavily on my channel. Ludwig did create a plugin which works similarly to Twitch, but that isn't what I'm looking for exactly, so I didn't want to do that, and I didn't want to force my viewers on YouTube to go download some plugin just to get some integration like channel points and such. So instead, I decided I would be bringing back Streamlabs Cloudbot as the main bot for the stream. Cloudbot actually shares instances across platforms, meaning that if I want to do a poll for the elimination game, I can do it through Streamlabs, and that will allow my YouTube viewers to participate in the poll, as well as my Twitch viewers all at the same time. Not only that, but Streamlabs Cloudbot has a loyalty system that I have actually set up to work very similarly to Twitch's channel point system. The only difference between the two is that you do have to be actively chatting on YouTube to gain points towards a loyalty system, but that is also similar to how Twitch has you manually click the channel point stuff to gain the 50 channel point bundle as you've been watching, so they are both similar in that regard. But because I'm doing that, that means that some channel point rewards will be coming to Streamlabs in the form of commands. While this isn't fully implemented in my stream yet, and this is also the reason why I've put off returning to streaming to try to get everything set up before 2024, but I can tell you straight up that is not happening. But it is currently set up and available for the Pokemon Starter Elimination Game Generation 9 Edition. Using exclamation mark wheel, you can request to have your event wheel spun, and using exclamation mark elim vote, you can request to vote and put your vote in, where I will take note of the orders, and once it comes up in comparison to my Twitch orders, I will then spin your wheel and do your vote, and everything would be implemented and available across the board regardless of which platform you're watching on, whether that is YouTube or whether that is Twitch. And I will continue doing so to get more channel point rewards as commands on YouTube through Streamlabs, and eventually I plan on reaching some form of parity with Twitch, but we will see, but it'll be very near it, and I'm looking forward to that. Another thing I wanted to do is I wanted to experiment with my content. You already know, if you've been watching my streams for a long time, that I've made a lot of interesting things like the Pokemon Heart Gold Sabotage Nuzlocke, the Smash Bingos, the point-based Pokemon races and such, but I also like to talk, like a lot. I wanted to see if talking about topics that are both inside and outside of gaming and anime and stuff like that in a rant-style format would be something people would be interested in. And it's also something I've wanted to do for a while. Like, one of the topics I've wanted to do was on St. Kitts, the land of my birth, and how the history of our Carnival Road match for like the last 30 or so years has been, and how we've actually ended up with the most unique and, quite frankly, the worst road match criteria throughout the entire Caribbean. Another one I also wanted to do that I've been going back and forth on was a Steve ban rant, because to me it's obvious that Steve should be banned. Not because he's overtuned, but because being able to make platforms and walls is antithetical to a competitive environment and a platform fighter. I know some people try to defend this with the whole rivals thing, but there's a very big difference between what he's doing and what Steve's doing, and even then what he's doing also is somewhat antithetical to the spirit of a platform fighter. So we will get to that. Oh, we will get to that, because I really do want to go off on that. But I just want to talk about things I feel fairly strongly about, and just get them off my chest. Wham, wham. I don't know if I want to dive into anything like that would be considered political per se, because that can get really annoying really fast, even though technically everything I do talk about would somewhat get political in some sense. So, yeah, let's switch topics. So, how about streaming on Twitch? How about streaming on Facebook? Why not stream to all of these platforms to maximize your reach? Well, the answer to that is really simple, and that is money. If I was to go ahead and stream to all of these platforms, I would do it through Restream.io, and unfortunately, with that platform, it costs money to stream to more than 2 platforms at once. And if I honestly was making enough money per month with my current platforms, that it would not only pay for itself, but allow me to generate money from streaming at least twice the rate it costs, I would do it 100%. And in terms of Kick, I'm not gonna lie, I don't really know if I want to stream on Kick. Like, it has better monetization, but things on there is really sketchy. It's like a wasteland. It's like the Wild West. There's not a lot of law and order in thing, and things can get weird, and a lot of the people there can be real weird. And I don't even want to make this a moral thing, because honestly speaking, Twitch is run by Amazon. YouTube is run by Google. Morally, streaming is already the dirt. So that's not like their owners aren't the problem. It's not them. The issue is the people that have flocked to the site, and I don't know if I would necessarily want that integration with how my community currently is. Because sure, you can find wonderful people everywhere, but if a place has attracted a certain crowd more than a specific crowd you'd like to get, there's a very good chance that you'll end up bringing that crowd in, and that could be problematic. So let me know how y'all feel about Kick. If I get to that point, do you feel like I should go ahead and include Kick as one of the platforms I stream to? Again, more eyes is great, so that's wonderful, but I don't know if that is necessarily good. And I've seen a lot of people, I've seen Faro streaming on Kick, so I don't know. Maybe I'll ask and see, but I want y'all peoples, men, women, non-men and women, everything in between, everything outside the spectrum, all of that stuff. Please give me your opinion on whether or not, if I get to that point, if I should stream on Kick. Keep in mind, Kick doesn't have integration with Streamlabs as of yet, and I don't know if they ever will, but if they do end up with Streamlabs integration, then that would make it so much easier, because I could still use my same stuff and just add Kick to the system. Same way, if I do Facebook group, it actually does have Facebook integration as well. So, Uran, you used to do a lot of fun challenges like the Pokemon Heart Gold Sabotage Nuzlocke. Will that return? And the answer to that question is eventually. That was by far the most ambitious thing I've tried to do on this channel. For those who don't know, the Sabotage Nuzlocke was a Nuzlocke where the goal was for me to complete the game while chat sabotages each other. How it worked was, every Pokemon I caught was claimed by a viewer, whether through a random wheel or the viewer explicitly claiming them. When this happened, the viewer had the ability to redeem rewards that could affect other Pokemon on the team, switch themselves on or off the team, and more, and the goal for each viewer would be for me to defeat Red, with their Pokemon being on the final team and having their Pokemon potentially being the sole survivor of the run, where they would win a prize. It was a fun concept, and it made it to the league, and we've beaten the league, but it was hurt heavily by the lack of momentum I had on stream, and thus the lower viewership, which led to the reason why it's currently not ongoing. And that is why I said the answer is eventually. To bring this back, I would want to reach to a point where I'm averaging around 10 viewers per stream before trying something that required heavy chat integration. But trust me, I really want to finish this run. I want to get into Kanto, and I want to do so much more. In fact, there are other ideas I really wanted to do, like a Pokemon Yellow race featuring some bigger creators like Scott's Thoughts, since Pokemon Yellow is his bread and butter. I have it be like my regular races. A Pokemon Relay race, well, not a race, but a Pokemon Relay where after every gym, I trade off the game to another streamer who continues it. We do it Nuzlocke style and defeat the game, see if we can work together to do that. Maybe even do a Pokemon Nuzlocke with crowd control active, disable some of the rewards, and I think that would actually be crazy fun. So there's a lot of experimentation stuff that I want to do. Even like I wanted to do like a game show like content as well, but a lot of it depends on clout and viewership. So until I reach to a point where that is possible, I'll keep chugging along and I'll try to do some more of the ideas that don't require too much crazy viewership, and just put those out on stream and have some fun ideas out, because there's a lot that I want to do, and unfortunately I'm too small to do some of it, and I'm very creative, but I can't find the time to put it in, or not big enough to. Innuendo, stop it, y'all are nasty. Anyway, point is, I need to grow to implement some of my ideas that I really want. So I will be focusing on that, as well as, you know, working with other streamers who are down to work with me right now and get us to a point where all of us are able to like participate in some really fun challenges and such. With that said, I know this update, this recap video was a bit longer than I anticipated it being, and it was very rambly at times, but I do want to thank each and every one of you for watching. I want to thank you all so much for supporting, and I can't wait to entertain you all again in 2024. Happy New Year, everyone. I'll see y'all soon. Bye!